Okay, let's chat about assignment number 4. Right, so the assignment number 4 assumes that you've completed all the previous 3 assignments, and it's just an extension on the idea of the widgets, but this time the widgets will be built using React Native. Right? So we are going to do React Native. So that means that someone would be using their mobile phone or their tablet or some portable device to be able to interact with that application. It'll be the same server, okay, that we've been using so far, right? So same Spring Boot, Java, REST, MySQL. You'll be creating a couple more services, a couple more data models. Right? But now the client, right, instead of being React JS running on a browser, will be a React application running on your phone, right? Or at least on the simulator. Right? If you have a Mac, you'll use Xcode's iOS iPhone simulator, or if you have an Android, you'll use your Android simulator. Okay, all you can very easily also run on your phone, right, and test it out that way. And again, it's the same. We're still on the same side of the application. Remember, there's 2 sides to this application, right? There's the faculty side of the application, and there will be the student side of the application, which will get started next week, right? So this is the last week of us working on the faculty side. This is all tools that the faculty would use to create courses and lessons and add all sorts of content widgets, right? And so we're going to extend the idea of widgets, but now we're going to add 2 types of widgets. One will be an assignment widget. It'll be a fairly simple widget to create that faculty will use to create an assignment that will be a description, and students will be able to perhaps either answer right there at the assignment, maybe copy and paste an answer, or they might be able to upload a document, right? Or provide a link to some GitHub repository, or give a link to some other document. Okay, so students on the student side will be able to use that widget to answer the question or answer the assignment. That's the part of the answer won't be tackled on this assignment. That will be tackled when we do the student side, right? This time we're only doing the tool for the faculty to create the assignment. Yes? When we do the student side, we'll see how students will actually use that widget to be able to actually submit the assignment. So the submission part won't be part of this assignment, right? This assignment, right? Creating assignments submitting assignments won't be part of this assignment. The other, so that would be an easy widget to do, right? The assignment widget, that'd be easy. And it's just another widget. It's just created with React Native as opposed to React JS, right? And we'll see that's fairly simple. If you already know React JS, you already know React Native. It's the jump between the two is very, very slight. Right? It's very, very simple. It's just that instead of using HTML, right, you're going to be using a whole other set of tags. Right, that since you're not running on a browser, instead you're running on a phone, there's a whole set of equivalent tags, right, that are specifically targeting mobile applications. All right, so that's one of the widgets, the assignment widget, and it looks something like this. So here's a wireframe. So this is the widget as previewed by the faculty. The faculty, this is what if they want to preview what the student might see, this is what the student might see. Okay, so I'm asking you to create a little form, right, a little widget that the faculty can type, provide the title for the assignment, provide how many points the assignment is, right, the description of the assignment, right. So those 3 things, right, the title, the points, and the description. That's all the faculty needs to enter. Now the data model for later, when we revisit this on the student side, we're going to have to extend it a little bit. Yeah, right. We need to, at some point when we tackle the student side, we need to be able to store somewhere whatever the student actually answered, right? We're not going to do this on this assignment, right? The answer, the student actually answering this, or submitting an actual file, or submitting an actual link, right? That will be tackled on the next assignment. Okay, we won't do that for now, just yet. Just on this side of the assignment will be for you to be able to the faculty provide obviously the type of it's an assignment, the title, the points, and the description. That's it. Yes? Right? And actually be able to see the preview. Be able to see a preview. Yes? So that's easy. That's just another widget, right? Like the widget you've been building up to this point, but this is a React Native widget. Right? We won't rebuild the whole thing that we've done obviously up to this point for courses and modules, and so that will still stay on the website, right? So we won't rebuild that. All right. So the next, so on the server side, you'll need URLs for this, right? You say /API /assignment will return an array of all the assignments, regardless of what course, regardless of what section, regardless of what anything. If you say /assignment /AID, it will return that one assignment. If you give me a lesson ID, assignment will return all the assignments for a given lesson. Right? If you're using topics, some of you created topics, and it would be topic ID assignment, right? Okay. So give me all the assignments for that particular topic. Post will be able to create a new assignment for a given lesson. And delete will, if you give me the assignment ID, I'll remove that one assignment. Yes? All right, so the bulk of the work is really the exam widget, right? It's an exam widget. I can add an exam widget, but the widget can be an exam. An exam is actually a list of questions. Right? One exam can have many questions. Yes, and there are 4 types of questions. Right, here's where inheritance comes in again. All right, for the widget example, we use denormalized data modeling. Yes, for these types of questions, we're going to use normalized inheritance. All right, we'll go over that a little later. So an exam is just a list of questions. We'll just have a long list of questions. And when you create a new question, you have to say what type of question do you want. Right? And there are 4 types of questions. One is a true or false question. And another one is a multiple choice question. The other one is a fill in the blanks question. And another one is an essay question. Right? So when you create a new assignment, this will be a drop down. You say, okay, what type of question you want to create? You select the type and you say add. And it'll add a new question. Yes? So there will be an exam widget, which will be housing the entire list of questions. And so this will be widgets within widgets, right? So it will be an exam widget which contains other types of widgets. So a list of questions. So the multiple choice widget will allow you to create things like this, right? Where again you have a title for the question, number of points for the question, the description for the question, and then a number of choices. Okay. So the faculty will need an input field for the title. We'll need a text area for the description, right? And it could be another text area also for the choices. It could be one choice per line. Yes, just like we did lists in the widget list. Yes, or the list widget. The list widget was one line, one item per line. We could do the same thing here, right? If you give me one choice per line, I can then create, I can parse it, right, and render it as separate choices. Yes. Additionally, you need to be able to tell me which is the right answer. Okay, and I'll leave that up to you how you want to do that. One could be a little drop down. You tell me, oh, it's the 3rd option is the correct one, or a nicer one would be you also render some checkboxes, some radio buttons, and you select the one that is right. That'd be nicer, right? That'd be cooler. So that's the multiple choice question, 20 points for that. If you submit, so notice that this is not created into the database until you actually click submit. Right? If you cancel, it won't actually add it to the database. If you cancel, you go back to the list of questions, which is the exam. For the essay widget, this is an easy one. It's just a title, the points, and the description. That's it, right? And then it renders with the title, the description, and some text area that the student can answer an essay. Right? So this is just text. Right? So no drop downs, no nothing. Right? Again, when you submit, it saves it to a database. Otherwise, when you cancel, it goes back to the list of back to the exam. Then you have fill in the blanks question. Fill in the blank question. Same thing. It's got a title, number of points, the description, and then a separate section where you can type a formatted piece of text. Right. That will read it verbatim, but if it finds square brackets, it will it will interpret those as a variable. Right? So it will be variable 4, and the correct value is 4. Right? And this will be variable 2, and the correct value is 2. Right? So when it parses it, right, in the data model, it will have to create 2 variables with these names, 4 and 2, and the correct value, 4 and 2. When it renders as a preview, what the student sees, they don't see this. The student doesn't see this. Right? In preview, the student sees this. Right? Sees text and an input field. And then input field, and then plus 2, 4. When they submit, when they answer the question, which is next week, we're not doing the answer yet, right? We only have to create the form. We only have to be able to create the form on the fly. When they submit the answer to this question, the database will make an entry and say, the student answered for this question, for this variable, they answered this value, right? And then to grade it, it'll compare the correct values against whatever value you set here. But that's next week. This week is just parse this and generate that in the preview. Okay. So it'll be a text, a description, a text for the actual dynamic part of this, and then in the preview it renders like this. And then a true/false. True/false. I didn't even put the wireframe. It's just a text, title, number of points, a question, and whether the answer is true or false. So a check mark if it's true or false. On the back end, you'll need to create a base exam question. This will be your base class, which will have all the things that are in common amongst all questions. Right? All questions have a title. All questions have a point, how many points it is. All questions have a description. Right? They'll have that, but the multiple choice question has additionally, it has the choices, right? And which choice is the correct one. Yes? The fill in the blanks has the same thing as the base exam question, but additionally has the variables and all the variables and their correct values, the name and the correct values. Yes? The true/false, the only difference is that it has an additional field, a Boolean field that says whether the answer is true or false. And the essay, what does the essay have? The essay doesn't have anything different because we're not storing the actual answer, right? We're not storing the answer here. Okay, I guess it's just inherent and then maybe some text, but getting ready for the answer going there. So implement repositories. You'll need To implement the inheritance that somebody was asking, the denormalized inheritance, you will have to create repositories for each one, right? Base one, and then these interfaces that implement the CRUD repositories for these will have to inherit from the top one. And we'll go over that, how to do that. Right? If you want to take a look at it, search for Spring Boot inheritance, right? Or JPA inheritance, and you can get started on that. Let's see what else. And these are the URLs. And this get API exam returns a list of all the exams, or this retrieves a particular exam. This allows you to retrieve the exams for a given lesson. So you can put exams on each lesson. Post allows you to create a new exam in that particular lesson. Delete an exam allows you to remove that particular exam. Post, and this allows you to create a new essay question for a given exam. It allows you to add a new question, an essay question. This allows you to add a new choice, multiple choice question to an exam. This allows you to add a new blanks, fill in the blanks question into an exam. And this allows you to add a new true-false question to an exam. If you need new if you think you need additional URLs, maybe for delete, for put, additional get, feel free to add to the URLs. Right? But the URL pattern should be fairly based on what I'm giving you. All right. All right. All right. Any questions?